Greetings, everybody. I don't really have a subject for today. I just felt that I needed to get on and talk to everybody, reassure everybody that I'm doing well and how I think about you much, all of my subscribers, hoping that you're all safe and that you're all healthy. This is scary times we're in right now. I know everybody's having dealing with things in different ways and in different places. Um, that I think that's a good place to start. Um, Here we are in California. We are under what is called a shelter-in-place order. It's not a law. It's everyone is requested to refrain from gathering in groups and going into crowded places. Theaters are closed. Most offices are closed. Many businesses are closed. At least their physical stores are closed. Many people are working from home rather than working in the office. People that have compromised situation who are most vulnerable maybe to the virus, such as the elderly and the people with other, immune deficiencies, people that suffer from diabetes, people that suffer from asthma, of course, other illnesses, autoimmune diseases, etc. Are requested to stay in, and that's what we've been doing as much as we can. My husband and I I've not been out of the house since, I guess it was 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago? Yes, 2 weeks ago. I think the 13th was the first day that I deliberately stayed in. My husband has gone out. He's out right now. When he has to go out, he goes, but he's very careful how he goes and does not get into lines. Fortunately for us, the markets here all have special hours for seniors that we can go early in the morning before the store opens to everyone, or at least they will have priority getting in first, the store, so we can shop without crowds and things and have a chance to get what we need, and then before they let others in. And then when they are letting others in, everybody's still restricted. They have only allowing so many people in the store at a time, making special arrangements to, making sure there's some, like Trader Joe's, I think, has somebody wiping down all the carts, and every time anybody uses it, and they wipe them all down. And there's a lot of things that people are doing. So that's helped us a lot. That's helped. My children are doing different things. One of my daughters is a teacher, and they're experimenting with teaching online. It's a little tricky for her. She's a kindergarten teacher, but they're doing it. Another daughter I have is a physical fitness instructor and has a shop, a store in Long Beach, where she trains clients, and she's been doing a lot of things. She has done some home visiting because she deals with a lot of people. I think deals with a lot of Parkinson's patients, does some special things with them. I think she's working in their homes with them, and a caregiver. But then I guess they're having the caregiver do the hands-on while she stays a distance outdoors and coaches. She's also doing some online training, some via, I'm not sure what Hangout. I'm not real good on that. My other daughter is a doctor. She's a physical therapist, and she's had to make some adjustments. Her regular center has been closed. She's doing some things in the hospital, helping out with things there. And of course, she's having special precautions. We're all doing special things. And if it doesn't affect you personally, it affects you, of course, emotionally, or it affects somebody you know or you love. We're not supposed to be visiting with each other. So of course, visits with the children are out even. So we're doing things on. What are we on? We did some. We're doing like a Marco Polo app where we could leave little video messages for each other to answer at our leisure. And we also did a hangout on. I'm not even sure what that was. What was that? I don't know. I don't know. They'd be nuts if they didn't. If I said I didn't know. Oh, we did Marco Polo, and then we did some other thing. I don't know what it was. But we all got together. It was like playing Hollywood Squares. You know, each of us was a little person in the square, and we were talking. Which was Hollywood Squares is probably for old people. I don't know if Hollywood Squares is still on or not, but I used to be a game show that they had little people in all of the squares, and you had to match them. Well, that's what it feels like to me. Being in the little squares in that hangout place where we could all talk to each other. Oh, Zoom. It's called Zoom, I think. We were able to talk to each other at one time. Well, that was amazing, actually. It wasn't even a time lapse. Your voice and your mouth and your words were going together. Nobody talked over each other, which was amazing. It was really nice. So we had that. That was a scheduled time where we all were able to be together in that way. So that has really helped us. I hope you were able to do some things like that. You know, it's causing us, this time it's really causing us to come up and to be flexible. You know, I think we all get really used to doing things a certain way. I know my children, when they first sent my daughter home from school, and they also, Emily, the daughter in Long Beach, was told, you know, they had a meeting with the mayor and some things that we had to close these places down, at least temporarily. For right now, they have to be closed. She was like devastated, like what was going to happen to her business, and Heather was worried what was going to happen to her children at school, etc. And within a week, they had some things in place that they were able to do, some kind of solutions. Maybe they're not excellent, but there's something. I love that spirit in people to be able to rally and to come up with a creative way to do something new. And I thought that was sort of an appropriate subject maybe to talk to you about today, you witches. This is what it's about. It's about using what you have. Making the most of what you have. It's not being a Pollyanna. It is empowering yourself with small steps. Building a lot of power out of small steps. Right? I just had blessings to you. You know who you are. And somebody named Will has asked me to give a shout out to him. Thank you, Will. I've had a lot of action in my cupboard on my website. A lot of people shopping, and I'm trying to come up with. I had to come up with. That was wonderful. Thank you very much for the orders, but I had to come up with some inventive ways to get the items shipped, because at first we didn't want to go in that post office in the beginning, and the supplies that we needed for mailing, etc. We had to wait till some things happened, but we got them shipped. Everything went out. Most everything I think has gone out. But you know, I was thinking about it when I was doing it. I was up to my ears. I want to tell you, in incense. I had incense blends everywhere because a lot of them I did not have. You know, I had to make fresh batches of a lot of these incense blends, and I always have current blends, and you know, I'm pretty good at keeping up with current, like what I need now and what I need in the near future, but I don't go much beyond that. So anything in the rest of the year I had to come up with fresh. Fortunately, I was prepared, and I have a good supply in my cupboards of my herbs and things. But what if I didn't? You have to be able to make do with what you have. What if you don't have what you need? What can you do to substitute, right? And I was just thinking, this time, if one thing that is done for me, and I think for a lot of others, is causing us to slow down and evaluate our life. Which sort of sounds funny coming from me, I'm retired person, and we do joke a long time about how it takes us till noon some days to get dressed. But that doesn't mean we're not doing things. But that's not exactly the slowdown I'm talking about, because even though that's true, we've had this lifestyle where we're not rushed. We don't have to grab a shower and run out the door and, eat our breakfast in the car, and a lot of things that we had to do when we were younger and busier, had a schedule that was maybe more demanding that way. But this is even causing people like us to reevaluate. Like, I thought I was, here's an example, I thought I was prepared. I thought I was really prepared. We have, 2 refrigerators and a chest freezer for shenanigans. Just a second. Who's doing that? Oh, Betty White. Betty White there's somebody in the yard, and Betty White is in the house, and she's probably going to knock over the lamp, going after the person in the window. Just 1 minute, please. You okay, Betty White? You okay? She's a little aggravated. Hopefully she'll be okay. I don't know, what was I saying? We think we're prepared. We have, 2 refrigerators and 1 freezer for 2 people. That seems like an excessive amount. You think we'd have a lot of things. Well, we, like everybody else, did not have toilet paper. we didn't have a lot of bread items, because I make bread fresh. Not a big deal. I buy some of my bread, so I'm not always in a hurry to bake it. But I usually, if I have time, I can bake it easily. But I couldn't get flour. There was no flour in the stores. There was not even any flour on the flour sites. Like, if you go directly to people that manufacture flour, sell flour, like Bob's Red Mill or King Arthur Flour, those places, they didn't even have flour. Nobody had it. So that was a challenge. I've had challenges. I'm delayed in getting my garden in because I'm doing all these other things. And on top of it, we live in Southern California, where I know it's too stupid to complain. I don't mean to complain. I know it sounds terrible complaining about weather when we live in Southern California, because I'm not complaining. But we are not used to, our lifestyle as a rule is not set up to deal with cold, dark, rainy days. Like a little bit of rain, but day after day after day of rain and cold. And it's not cold to you, but to us it's very cold. We don't have, our houses are not equipped, I've said that before, to keep us warm. I'm running around here in blankets, and you can't get a lot done when you're wearing blankets. Or, your feet, my feet are freezing on the floor all the time, even with thick socks, and, and it's raining, I can't get the garden in. And I know what's happening. It's not raining today. It's still kind of cool. But you watch, 2 days from now, it'll be 85. Instead of it being 75, which is perfect for a spring garden, we're going from 60 degrees to, we're going to jump to 85 degrees. And then where is that spring that I need to get my seedlings healthy before the heat sets in? Strong and healthy. That messed me up last year, and I'm afraid it's going to do so this year too. And it has me concerned. So we're trying to deal with these things. But anyway, what I was talking about is slowing down. I'm trying to say slowing down and reevaluating. I was saying, look at this, I'm still, as far as my seedlings go, I was gambling, right? I was gambling. Oh, I have lots of time. And the seedlings, I didn't get started as early as I should have. I didn't even have the grow lights set up properly. I was counting on Veggiepalooza, which is a big sale that they have at one of the colleges here, the Arboretum near the college, where they sell all kinds of varieties of heirloom vegetables and herbs, nicer, seedlings, where I get a lot of my really unique kind of tomatoes, etc. They were supposed to have that on March 17th or around their 20th or something like that. Of course, it was canceled. So I didn't have those, that was a cushion for me. The plants, it was cushioning me to have the plants for my garden, to get them in. I just did not have the preparations in place that I should have had. Okay. What else am I seeing though? What I was seeing is the good thing is slowing down because I can't do some of the things I was planning on doing. Slowing down and looking around. When I was planning some of my orders that I was getting on my cupboard, looking through my blends, my herbs and my different herbs that I had. Oh, look at this I have. I didn't know I had, or I didn't have it organized well, or it sort of put me behind a little bit. I really wasn't ready. But it made me say, why do I have, I was coming across some things in my cupboard going, why do I even have that? What purpose is it that I have that? I'm reevaluating, do I really need that? Or look at this. Why would I even go and buy, I'm always buying, I love fiber, of all kinds. But why would I go and buy fiber? Why would I go buy yarn? Look at all this yarn. What can I do with it? It's left over from whatever I was working on. What can I do with that? How can I make that useful in my life? Or in my life or in somebody else's life? Rather than just, usually if I would start a project, I would just, let's say I want to make a pair of socks, right? I would just go to the store, get some yarn, or go, I would maybe buy it online, whatever. I would make more socks, buy more yarn. I'm starting to say, what about the yarn that I have? What can I make out of what I have? What can I do with what I have? What can I do with the herbs and blends that I have now? You've seen in the past, here's a good example. You've seen in the past the nasturtiums. I've taken pictures. I know I posted them on Instagram. So if you haven't seen them in my videos, if you're on my Instagram, I'm under Instagram on as Bird and the Crone is my name there, or I've posted them on my Bird and the Crone Facebook page. And if that is the case, if it was Instagram, it would show up on Bird and the Crone Facebook page. So you would have seen that, I think it was last year, I took a picture of the nasturtiums overcoming. They came out of the bed and they were covering my patio furniture completely. They just are so prolific. They just go and bloom everywhere. Well, that was fine. And I made a few things out of them last year. I made some, butters, and I made some cheese. I think I made some cheese out of some or something. And I'm not sure. I'd have to look and see, but I did make some recipes out of it. Oh, salsa. I made some pesto out of the leaves, which was good. But I just realized, and I have known this all along, because I was looking back at my notes, that nasturtiums are one of the best medicines for fighting off infection, colds and infections and things, or headaches. Especially like a sinus infection. My daughter suffers terribly from sinus infections. I'm thinking, why aren't I? So that's one of the things I'm doing now. I'm dehydrating those nasturtium leaves because they're the best. And I'm going to make tincture out of it and give to her. So the next season she comes around here with, with sinus infections, she's going to have something to use for it, what I'm trying to say is, even the knowledge that I did have myself, I had that knowledge. I knew that from before. Have I ever done it? No. And I'm overcome by nasturtiums, and I just let them go. And they end up, a lot of them we don't eat or whatever, they end up in the compost. So I'm trying to slow down and reevaluate how I myself use the things that are around me to the best they can, to their potential. When I was buying flour and going, well, I can't make anything. Here's a good idea. I can't make anything. I don't have any flour. What am I going to do? I'm rooting around in the pantry cupboard. I went, well, what's this? And I have found a big jar of whole wheat pastry flour, which I'm not sure what in the world. I'm still trying to think what I used whole wheat pastry flour for. I don't really ever buy pastry flour, so that's really bizarre to me that I would specifically buy pastry flour and also specifically buy whole wheat pastry flour. I'm not sure. But it was for something. And I had a whole big pickle jar of it, like full, a big, oh, sorry, a big pickle jar. And what am I going to do with that? Well, I made some quiche out of that, and it was delicious. To use up all the eggs, my chickens, by the way, are throwing eggs. I mean, there's so many eggs, so I'm buried in eggs. But I have whole wheat pastry flour. I made quiche out of it. I'm going to try. We're having biscuits tonight for dinner. I'm going to make some biscuits out of it. See what happens. I'm going to see what, I'm going to use what I have. I'm going to take something I have that's a throwaway ingredient. I'm going to make something magical out of it. That's what we do, right? So, I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. This is causing, if you are in the same position as I am, where you are sort of stuck at home and and maybe you're working from home, or maybe you have, family, of course. If you have children, maybe you're at home trying to do homeschooling, you're helping the schools out by homeschooling. A lot of extra burden falling on the parents there, but maybe you can do some projects like that with your children if you have children, maybe. But also, just to look around you and see, reevaluate what you are keeping around you, what kind of, because it's the energies. When I'm not using what I have, when I have these stashes of items and I'm not using them, that they're there for no reason at all, I'm sort of devaluing, is that the word? Devaluing? What is that so funny? I'm decreasing the value of the item by not using it, right? By not using it, by just letting it sit. So I want you to look around in your cupboards and see what you have in there, and not just food cupboards. Look in your magic cupboards. If you don't have any magic cupboards, you say nonsense. Every cupboard you have, every drawer you have is magical. There's something in there that's magical. And I think this is going to be the subject of some more videos to come, because I have got some other things to say that I think might help you. I'll give you a hint. My next interest, if you say, what is I have come across the term road bones, if you know what I mean. If you throw bones or charms, which is the subject I'd like to get into, throwing charms, or some people call it throwing bones, which is a form of divination. So look it up. It gave me a thought of some of the stuff that I have accumulated in my parlor in there. I'm gonna be showing you and sharing with you. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I don't want to ramble. I just want to connect, and I know some of you just like to connect. So I'd love it if you'd use the comments below to just tell me how you are, to check in with me, tell me where you are in the world, and anything that you've had to do, how maybe this scare of this virus is affecting change in your life. In what way? I hope you can get something positive out of it. We all need to be cautious. We all need to be careful. And of course, yes, we are fearful. But let's also try to find something that we can take from it that helps us grow, both as a person and as a witch. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to hearing from you. As always, I'm Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.